Hi, Raneem.
Hello.
I've just had to stop for a moment because we've just talked for about 30 seconds before we came on, and you were saying some things. I was like, sharing. And what you said to me just now, well, first of all, you've lost 10 kilos, so congratulations. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Which is a big deal, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And for me, when we first met, you're 20. So I normally work with ladies that are
A bit older.
40s and 50s.
Hmm.
And so it was a new thing for me. But for you, you'd been trying to lose weight for a long time. So
Yeah. As long as I can like remember what weight was, maybe, or like when you kind of get into that age of like caring about how you look and you know.
yeah, it's hard. And what's really great is that you've got the rest of your life now without having to do all this. Yay. And also when we first started, social media I think had a grip on you because you believed a certain system,
Wait, yeah.
and a calorie was a calorie.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I just had like preconceived notions of like what the right way was. I don't necessarily think what they were saying was wrong. I just think it's really hard to implement without like clear guidelines of what it's like. You can get 6,000 things that are right, but if you can't really implement anything, then it's not really useful. So I think I was just kind of like in a loophole of like what's right and what's wrong, but not actually knowing. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you said just then was that at the end of our 8 weeks, you did Ramadan,
Yeah,
which
so
which was a big challenge. But what you said just before we came on, which I really loved, is that although you'd put on a little bit of weight during Ramadan, which you'd normally put a lot more on, I remind
yeah.
saying.
And it would not go back down.
Yeah, as you said, I did put some on, but I knew it would trickle back down when I come back, and it has.
It did, yeah. I think, yeah, that's probably the one different thing than all the previous ones is like you kind of like when I came back from Ramadan and I weighed myself, I was kind of a little bit discouraged, but I was still like aware that it is gonna go back down. Whereas I think previous versions of myself would have been like, oh, we're like worse than where we started. This is really bad. Like, yeah, like there would have been no like faith that like give yourself some time and it will like go back to normal basically. So
You believed it.
yeah.
And I think that's the biggest difference, isn't it? That you have, I guess, found something that works. So you believe that actually, I've put on a few pounds in Ramadan, which is almost no wonder with what food gets.
Yeah, given. And also just the timing is really like eating at night is very get what's the word? Snacky. So it's really hard to like stay focused when it's like everyone's eating at night and like yeah, it's just really hard. So it was difficult, but I think I did well for my first time, you know.
I think you did brilliantly. I think you did brilliantly. So one of your goals was to get to a size 12 to 14. I don't know if you remember saying that to me.
Yeah. Yeah. When I went back to like Saudi, there's so many malls. So like going around, I just grabbed pieces and I was like shocked by the numbers I was grabbing. Like the fact that I bought a size small when it was like never in my like I didn't think I reached that like size yet. So when I grabbed this, there was only a small and an X large, and I'm like, you know what? I'll grab both, and we'll see. Like maybe an X large would look fine, and maybe the small may fit, and the small did fit, and I was like shocked by it. So, yeah,
Yeah. So, and also a 12 in this
and
country.
yeah, and a 12, which is crazy to me because I was like dressing like 14, 16, you know, that was like my size range. So getting to like, and it's just not even that, just like the confidence of like you feel better. You can like for me, it's I think maybe because I took like pictures as I was going. So like seeing before and after pictures, you can like I have to keep reminding myself that like I've reached the after now. Like I've had so many before pictures for so many years. Like yeah, so like seeing it now, it's kind of very surreal.
Mm. I know, it's great. We're struggling to believe that that was possible because you weren't, let's just put it mildly, keen on cooking. And
Yep.
you go out a lot. So, you know, it's hard when you're going out to pizza places and everything else with your friends, and you were getting delivered food and thinking that was healthy, but you were snacking without noticing.
Yep.
And you now can cook some things and you enjoy salad, dare I say.
I love salad now. I had one just before this. Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely, like, I think the structure that this like program gave me is like, I before I started, I was like getting HelloFresh delivered, and it was thinking it was healthy, and to some degree it might be. I think the portion sizes are for male and woman, like female and male, they don't really specify, so probably way more than I needed. And I was still found it like hard to do and hard to maintain, even though like I was getting groceries delivered to my house. I think now like I find um like excitement and like going grocery shopping and finding food that I like, or like finding a new recipe for a salad that I want to try. It's like it brought like this new passion, or like joy from cooking. So I don't find it as daunting now. And I think something I was scared of, I'm like, how am I gonna go out into London? That was something that was like stopping me from starting. Like I remember the first week I kept being like, I'm going to London on Thursday, so let's start on Friday. Like I kept pushing it back. But like now I go into London and I've like just found places that either make really yummy salads, any good restaurants you can like probably find some good like options. So I don't really worry that much when I go into London now. So yeah, I think it's like I found sustainable way of doing it basically. So
Awesome. A couple of things. One is, has your opinion, dare I say this word, keto? Keto. Because when you came in, I think it was kind of like, oh, hello. Keto, no. So almost like can't tell anybody it's keto, because there's an assumption that keto is bad, really. And so would you say this program is, it works with ketones, but you wouldn't really connect it with the word keto
yeah,
diet?
definitely. I think keto has so many like bad implications, like bad meanings around it. People think it's negative and hard and really like, oh, what's the word? Like constricts you. And I used to think that way too. And I think the keto that I did before I tried this was more of like, yeah, it just had no nutritional value. Like I was just eating meat and cheese, and you may lose some weight, but it's not sustainable. Like that was the word that like I kept using. I'm like, I don't want something that's not sustainable. I want something that I can like live for the rest of my life and make sure that I can keep doing it. And I feel like even though you can be in ketosis, but I think I just did it the wrong way. And I think this is the right way, where you're like the keto is such a like marketing term, whereas like ketosis is just like the scientific thing that happens in your body. So I feel like I wouldn't label this as keto, because like when I was doing keto, I didn't have fruits, I didn't have vegetables. I was, like this is more of like you're having the fruits and veggies, and you're eating good food for your body that your body needs and your body likes, and it's just, yeah, and it works, and it works. I don't
Yeah,
know what else to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your measurements went down like, oof, a lot actually. So it shows it takes it from the places it needs to go. And
Definitely,
each
yeah.
week, kind of, I know, get bits back. So the word keto, good. I'm glad we covered that, because it's a hard thing, isn't it? When people say, "Is it keto?" and I kind of go,
Yeah,
"Body uses ketones."
yeah.
But that's because it's born to be able
Mhm,
to use those, and of course you're using both.
mhm.
So that's really cool. The other thing was, can I ask you, do your monthly, your periods feel more comfortable now?
Honestly, yeah. Which is, now that you mention it, they have like I just finished like my period a couple of days ago, and it hasn't like I didn't get any cramps. I didn't feel any like backaches. It so like yeah, which is, now that I just realized that I didn't have any like really bad symptoms. I usually suffer from like really bad cramps the first couple of days, and like back pain. I didn't really have that. Um, so
Isn't
it
it
has
amazing how we forget what it was like when
before.
when you, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, only because I remember the first time you said to me on the first monthly before, just after we started, you said, I haven't had any cramps like I normally do. And I just thought,
The food, yeah. Which is weird because you don't think it connects, you just think it's like your body, this is the way it reacts when you get your period, but it does.
yeah, win-win. Do you think that your view of a scale is now more healthier?
Definitely, definitely. I think, yeah. I think before I started, I was, and it's again something social media also like pushes, where it's like the scale is like, don't weigh yourself, weighing yourself isn't like accurate, all of these like things. And I used to believe that, being like, yeah, like your water weight changes and everything changes, which it does. Sometimes your body's just holding more water, which can make you weigh more or whatever. But I think because my experience was with it was so negative, because every time it would be like a higher number, and that would just cause me to go into depressive like episode, and like see myself in like, it's like I'd be happy and fine, and then I'd weigh myself, and then like, oh, I can't look at myself anymore, like,
Crash.
yeah, exactly. um but now it's just kind of like, yeah, I just need to know where I am. It's just a number, like it doesn't really, it doesn't have that like hold, and if anything it's like a positive, because it's showing progress in a positive way than rather than in a negative way. So yeah, definitely, I think I'm not scared of it anymore. So
Oh my God. I know there's so many things, which is why I'm so pleased that you've come on here, because those things are really big, I think, for you. One is, you can now know what to do. You now know, you're more conscious of your thoughts around food. So, if that chocolate bar's calling, actually, I'm just going to take it out.
yeah, I'm gonna, didn't have any, so
You've tackled Ramadan, which is a big thing. And the weight just trickled back down again as soon as you came home, which is what it does when you've got a nice set weight and you
yeah.
put temporarily, that it just comes back down again, rather than thinking, oh my God, that's it, the 8 weeks is up, I've ruined it.
Yeah.
Because mindset, do you think, I think that you've changed, you've grown so much.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think, yeah, just my mindset around food definitely did change. Like, I think now I'm more aware of like what's actually good for me, and like, and also I always used to believe in like the 80-20, like eat 80% healthy and then 20% enjoy your time. I was not doing that. Like I believed in it, but I think a lot of people think we're doing it, but like in reality, we're eating 80% unhealthy, and then the 20% is like we have it switched basically. And I was also a very firm believer, like I was going to the gym every day, and I was like, I'm not losing any weight, but like the first 2 months that I started, I stopped going to the gym. I was just walking, like going into the office and stuff, just getting my steps in, and I lost weight without it. So it is really like your food, your diet is that's the main factor that affects your weight. Like going to the gym is good because you can build muscle, and like your health and exercise is good for you, but it's not, you can't, what's the word, you can't like outrun a bad diet. Like you can't.
No, you can't burn off a bad diet, no, because it's just there. So that's a big turnaround, because now you can go back into the gym knowing that your weight's down, and you can just know that what you're putting on is beautiful muscle. You can see your muscles then, because you've got less covering over.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a big turnaround, I think, from the start. So thank you for being with me, because it's really great to have somebody of your age, dare I say, doing this, because it's quite a challenge, I think, because you're going out with all your friends that kind of go, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, you have that. And if you stick to, I mean, what did you say when they said, why aren't you having pizza?
I remember in the beginning I was getting like, when I'd, let's say, get like a chicken, or what's it called, like have a piece of meat with some salad, or like a piece of like a burger patty with some salad, they're like, why are you like, where's the bun, like what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm just eating healthy. Like I think I overestimated how much people care before
Yeah.
I started. Like I was really like thinking, yeah, people are gonna notice, people are gonna say stuff. People don't care. Like even like, let's say, like, how am I gonna say no to someone giving me something? The second you're like, no, I don't want any, they
Move on.
don't, yeah, I'll eat it, like they don't really. So I think once you notice like, or once you realize people don't care about what you're doing, it's a kind of like a freedom of like, oh, I can do whatever I want, and people like, you know.
Respect
So
it.
yeah, exactly.
It's,
I think
it's quite an investment, and you dove into an investment as a young lady. Do you still feel like actually it was an investment that was worth it for you?
definitely, honestly, like, yeah, because it's like, it's, you get the information you need, you get guidance. I think the main thing that works with what you do is you have an account, like someone holding you accountable. I think that's where a lot of people like struggle, is like no one actually holds them accountable, especially when you're looking at like close family and friends. People just want you to be happy, so when something's uncomfortable or new, it's hard to like, they're it's hard for them to be like, no, like stick to it, you know, like they always just want to see you happy. So it's
Was that me? No, look, stick to it.
not in a bad way, in a very good, like, you need someone to hold you accountable if you want to see results. Like consistency is the only way you'll see any results. So I think that's like what it is. And I think health is like the highest, like it's such a valuable thing. Like you can get $1 million, and if you can't wake up tomorrow, like what's the point, you know? So I think investing in your health is like something, I don't think you can put a price on it. um so like, yeah, I think it's definitely worth it, because now I'm lower, I feel healthier, I know that I'm healthier from what like I'm eating. And yeah, sometimes you just need the guidance. Like you can you can feel like you're stuck in a loop, and you just need
Yeah.
someone to like, yeah, you need someone to like pull you out of it and just,
And challenge you, I think, challenge your thoughts, whereas family find it hard to challenge you. And if they do challenge you, a rebellious streak in you kind of goes, you know, poof.
yeah,
So because I'm friendly fire, I suppose, so I'm challenging you on a way to kind of help you out. And sometimes it's hard, but it makes you go away and think about it, doesn't it? I think that's the thing. So
yeah,
and now you're off and running, you know, yourself. I mean,
yeah.
you booked in obviously an extra one at the end, you know, one off, because that
Mhm.
helped you through Ramadan. But it's great because you now feel like you can dip in if you needed to in a year's time, or you know, come back for a refresher if your brain starts to kind of go back to its old thoughts.
Ways, yeah. Yeah,
But,
definitely. It's nice because it's like I feel like I've made a friend that can like give advice when I need it, and like it's like a push start, you know, and you still know that like if I ever need it, I can always talk to her, you know. So
you can, yeah. So it's not goodbye. I hate goodbyes, Renee.
no, it's not. Don't worry about it.
It's not a goodbye. It's just a like, see you later.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Hopefully I won't need to, but you know, get a nice picture, send it to me. Yeah. But thank you for sharing that. And I hope it's answered some questions for ladies, but that snack and comfort eat and do all the things, or think they're being healthy but can't lose the weight and think there's something wrong with them. It isn't. It's just getting a system where your body goes, oh, okay, I know what you're doing. So thanks. And thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome. I just like to add one more thing about what you said about like ladies snacking and stuff. I think food is such a like relationship based, it's like you have a relationship with food. And I feel like the thing that I realized is I was substituting food for like as a way of taking care of myself. So like it is a way where you like you comfort yourself through it, but I think once you like stop giving food that power, you realize that you can take care of yourself in other ways, whether it be like fashion or makeup or just investing in other hobbies. I think once food's like not the main thing, that's like,
Go to.
yeah, it's not your go-to, it's not your comfort thing, because it is like such a comfort thing. And like society puts so much, like, you know, you meet up with people for food, you meet up with people for coffee, you meet up with people for, so it's like such a, it is such a relationship thing that, I don't know, I just feel like when you stop putting so much emotional like power in it, like that, it holds such like a power over you, it's like you can start focusing on other things, and it's, yeah.
Freedom, because you know, I'm glad you brought it up, because particularly I think from your culture is that food was um that was it, wasn't it? You met for food.
Yeah,
That's what you
that was, yeah, there isn't any like now, even now, every time I fly back, it's just like, oh, we're going out to eat, we're going out to drink, we're going out for dessert, we're going out for coffee. It's like there's no other activities that you can do. So it is really hard to, like, when you want to be healthy, it's like there's every opportunity to not be. So it's very like, it's just hard. I think there it's harder. Yeah. So I feel like prioritizing yourself and kind of not putting food as the, just not letting it hold a power over you, you can realize that there's other ways you can take care of yourself that don't relate to food.
Yeah, that don't involve food as the main focus. Yeah. So brilliant. Your growth was your highest sort of human need when we looked at it, and you've grown so much. So this kind of program has fed into your human need for growth.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. Yeah.
Really good too. So well done you. Star, if I had a star.
Put it there.
Hopefully this answers some questions for ladies, and thank you very much, Raneem.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.